Well, it's a beautiful morning here in Perth, perhaps a little chilly, but the atmosphere is building with a record 45,000 competitors almost ready to start the 2012 Chevron City to Surf for ACTIV, and what an event it should be. I'm joined by Australian marathon legend Rob De Castella. Of course, he's also the ambassador for the Chevron City to Surf for ACTIV. And Rob, what an event this is.
Absolutely, Mark. It's a great morning. I mean, a little bit of a chill in the air, which is just perfect for the marathon runners. And, you know, a record crowd, 1,201 running the marathon. So we've all got our fingers crossed that one gets across the finish line and they have a record number of finishes.
Let's hope 1,201 get across the finish line. Well, speaking of the marathon, 42 kilometres, as you said, a record 1,201 competitors. And what about this course? It's regarded as one of the toughest going around, but also one of the most beautiful in the world. What do you make of it?
Yeah, look, it is a tough course. The first half is nice, flat and fast, but then the second half has really got some good challenging hills in it. And obviously, the second half is when you're really starting to feel it, when the fatigue and the effort's really starting to take its toll. But you know, every marathon's tough. You know, I mean, if you don't want a tough run, don't run a marathon. So everyone's really going to get their money's worth this morning.
It's hard just watching it, Rob. Now, we're not here to have a party. You're here to do some work. So we're going to send you to the start line just behind us to get those marathoners away. Good luck.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
The City to Surf was first run by ACTIV back in 1974 with just 500 participants. Well, this year, there's another record field of competitors, and everyone who takes part contributes to the fundraising activities of the ACTIV Foundation. Louise Momba is joined by the CEO of ACTIV, Tony Viz.
Tell me about ACTIV. It's something that a lot of people are aware of. How exactly does it work?
ACTIV Foundation is the largest disability services provider in Western Australia, and we work with people with intellectual disability. So we have 2,500 people that we work with, and we have 250 that live with us, 1,050 that work for us, 1,000 people that we provide community support to, and it's all about enabling people with disability and their families to pursue a better life, to actually live their life, find their aspiration and enable them to live as you and I would. They have a right to an ordinary life like you and I do, and we're there to really make sure they can have that.
And a beautiful little girl like Beth is a great example of how ACTIV can help.
Yes, I mean, Beth is at the beginning of her journey, and we are part of people's lives throughout that whole journey. Yes, she's a great little ambassador. Just seeing her run for the first time. This is the second year that she's part of the event. We hope she's part of it for many more years, and just because I think we can show the community what it means for people with disability and their families in terms of the work that ACTIV does, to actually show that journey through life.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, a 6:10 start for the marathon runners, and it's great to see so many athletes taking on the toughest endurance race in world athletics. And this is a wonderful course, a picturesque course taking in the Swan River and Kings Park. Rob, in your experience over this distance, what can you tell us about this race?
So the marathon, the full 42.195 kilometre marathon, is one of the toughest physical tests of endurance that you could possibly take on. So it's absolutely critical that all of these runners have prepared and done the training. The minimum amount of training is 6 months to 9 months of training, and the most important aspect of your training is your long run. So every week, to run a good marathon, you need to be getting out there and building up those long runs from 1 hour to 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and even up to 2.5 hours. And that's what really prepares and conditions your body to be able to finish on that last 5 or 10 kilometres of the marathon. The speed work isn't quite so important. This is not about a sprint. This is about a marathon. So it's about doing the long, consistent, dedicated commitment to training over the months and months leading up to the event.
The three Kenyans, Leland, Chelimo and Kemboy, have established a sizable lead coming up William Street over the rest of their rivals in this marathon.
Well, the runners have just reached about the halfway point now, and they're back at the start, so they'll really be starting to settle in, because we say the marathon doesn't really start until halfway, and really it's that last 12k that the marathon is really all about. So now they're starting to focus, they're starting to get serious about the run. The first half has really just been a warm-up and it's been nice and flat, and now we actually start to get into a few hills and it's really going to test them.
Well, an increasingly popular distance at the Chevron City to Surf for Active is the 21-kilometre half marathon, which was first run back in 2007. This year, another record field, in excess of 4,300 competitors. Let's cross to the start line, and we're joining former Collingwood star and now Westpac ambassador, Paul Licuria.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Our runners are up and going in this, the 21k race, the half marathon, the 6th year. This distance has been run as a part of the Chevron City to Surf for Active, and it's wonderful to see so many participants out there. And unlike in the marathon, it is the Ethiopians as opposed to the Kenyans who have taken an early lead. But look at the sea of faces coming up St George's Terrace. Amazing to see how popular this distance is. It is the Ethiopians, as I said, Galita and Weicha, who lead early as they head up towards Kings Park. Still to come on the Chevron City to Surf for Active, the family favourite, the 4K event.